Hi guys, it's me, Joseph Anderson again, and I've seen some pretty interesting current events as of late. For example, we have the oil crisis in America and the world at large, and then we have the cyclospora outbreak in America, as well as other diseases that happen in America under Trump's watch. We have the looming threat of a record-breaking El Nino event that might happen, probably in September or October sometime. And I've seen the economy going very sharply downhill. So what's the big issue on Trump's mind? A miniature IndyCar race around Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like unglobal for any actual year's event schedule listing. I'm sure that there are thousands of other important things that top that, but apparently our president is a complete idiot who has this on his Make-A-Wish Foundation list of stuff to do before he leaves office. Let's put it that way. He's gonna leave office soon. And this is basically a Make-A-Wish presidency. I wanna have UFC fight in the middle of White House lawn. Let it be so. I want my name and image on every building within my eye range. Let it be so. I want to be the flag boy on my own IndyCar race. So let it be so. So this is trying to be really childish and stupid president to run. And the thing is that Trump billed this as being part of the 250th anniversary of America's founding. I'm sure that those people that probably made the country, like Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Ben Franklin, I'm sure they would love to know that a self-absorbed president wannabe dictator is gonna have an IndyCar race. I don't even know if they would care what an IndyCar race was. And he wanted to be the big special boy, the big master of ceremonies, if you will, for this event. Which is complete bullshit, but I'll talk about the event first, then I'll talk about my imitation of Trump, because I think I got pretty down pat what I'm gonna say about him. So anyway, this was announced say a couple of months ago at least, but the main planning of it, the main execution of it, looked like it took about a couple of days to slap together. It looked so poorly designed and so stupid. Let's put it that way. It looked so stupid that you really didn't think it was real. Because those IndyCars are so tuned in to be precise and everything that the slightest little bump and the slightest little notch in the highway, in the roadway or wherever it seems, will throw them off. And sure enough, they were these very precise machines were thrown into walls. There were many crashes with other vehicles, other Indy cars, and it was a mess. There's more records on there than your average IndyCar or NASCAR race. Which, if you ask me, I think that NASCAR would be more appropriate to celebrate the 250th anniversary of America, because whenever I think of races, I think of NASCAR, number one. I mean, I don't follow it per se, but I think that NASCAR will be more appropriate for that event. But in other words, this thing was more like a Donald Trump event than anything else, with a very small crowd. Nobody really gives a shit about him. The news barely covered it. I only heard about it yesterday and the day afterwards, but if I read about it. That's how little the media covered it. And like I like to call it, like I've found many YouTube videos where they actually do cover this. And the flag thing too, that started with Trump doing the green flag, motion and stuff. I would consider it Mario Kart, but retarded. Because Trump wanted to have a big spectacle of it all. I'm the big special boy. I'm the big LFA type character. All the attention was on him and everything. And it was planned poorly, poorly, and everything was put on the taxpayer dime. Again, another event where it could have been easily paid for by Donald Trump, which said that he's a billionaire or something, but no, he's just gonna milk every last dime of the taxpayer money until he ends up leaving office. By hook or by crook, he's gonna milk every last dime he can. All under the good of entertainment. Where I think that's more of a thing where it's more of a distraction from his distraction from the Epstein files, of which he didn't tens of thousands of times. So anyway, besides doing this whole IndyCar racetrack thing, he had to be a big manly man and take out the beast. The $20,000 £20,000 limousine car that was retrofitted with heavy armor, with all kinds of protection devices for his safety, for all of his his medical needs, whatever that may be, and and he used this beast for honorary lap around the track to be the first one there, because he's always gotta be the first one to do stuff, like a little spoiled child. I gotta be first to do this, I gotta be the first to do that, Otherwise, if I don't get my way, something bad's gonna happen, that type of thing. Like what rich brats do. So he did that. Again, at the taxpayer expense, I'm sure. I don't even want to know how much it was worth, for him to do that. But, let's say if I want to do that, or if any other president in history want to do something like that, they couldn't do it because Republicans would say, oh no, the budget's too much for them to do it. But when it comes to Trump, they'll roll over backwards for him to do that. Illegal or not. I could see if he were doing a good job with the economy, with a war, with some foreign policy or something. But the man is failing at everything he touches. He's failing at stuff that he probably hasn't even done yet. what they want to do. And now he's even threatening to destroy the Kennedy Center because he can't put his name on it. And it was also named after a very successful and popular and well-loved Democratic president, JFK. But that's neither here nor there. So anyway, Trump did the little tour thing of the first lap under the extraordinary large protection of the beast, followed by when he did his little flag waving thing, he did it behind bulletproof glass. I wonder why he wanted to feel so protected. Maybe because he's paranoid. You know, like Agent J said once, won't start nothing, won't be nothing. So anyway, I would like to think of something funny for a moment before I get into the whole fly girl thing that he did. Have you ever played Mario Kart? Have you ever seen that most of the people that play in the original carts are usually the same? They usually have the same size cart, but each person that goes into the cart is more like the real good counterparts. Like for example, you got Mario, you got Luigi, you got Toad, you got Princess Peach, you got Wario, all that. Well, some of the characters are more like rotund than your average character. Like Mario's like the average character, so Wario will be fat, DK will be fat, obviously because he's a monkey. An ape. And then we got Bowser, that's the biggest of the bunch. So I would love to see what would happen if Donald Trump, of all people, would be squeezed into one of those Mario Karts. Now that would be funny shit right there. Seeing as how he's a porker by himself. You know, he can barely fit into his own shoes. He's fat, and his ankles are so swollen because of some kind of I think circulation issue or something or other. Same with his clothes, you know, you can barely fit him into his clothes, especially with his full diaper, I'm sure. Although that's allegedly full. So anyway, that would be a funny sight to see him, like, with a Mario Kart, go-kart, in that position as the President of the United States of America, a red, white, and blue type paint scheme on the actual car itself. But anyway, on the flag thing. Now, normally, whenever you see somebody wave a flag for to start a race like this, yes, you can go like one move down and then one move up to begin with go right. You know, pure and simple right. But he can't even get that right. He's like a little kid who doesn't know when to stop when he did that. And he kept on having that big smile, like saying like, I'm the president, I can do whatever you want, whatever I want, and I'll stop when I'm getting ready to stop. Which is good for a little child or for someone with mental retardation. You know, does it come from the older man, you know, older president of the United States? He should know better than to do that. And besides, even if you know how to open up a race course like that, he should at least look up online, look up how you do it. But no, he did it like this. And that's wrong. And the fact that he kept on going with it, I'm proud of doing this. I got a flag, yeah, I'm proud of it. I got a flag. Where it might be more like this. Forget the football feet in there, That's probably the only exercise that he does. So also, I will also like to do a very offensive voice for that in Donald Trump's what Donald Trump was probably thinking at the time. But it might be offensive to some people, but I don't care, because as far as I'm concerned, he's a retard. Because he likes to make fun of people with disabilities and stuff. So that right there, it takes all respectability out of his authority. And besides, I think that he knows better than to do that. He's just trying to, like I said, milk every moment that he got in the spotlight. Because he knows that when he leaves office, nobody will give a fuck about him. So he wants to get his last kick into the American psyche. He wanted to do it at the taxpayer's expense. So, anyway, I'm going to try to do this voice. And I'm going to try to do a little flag wave at the same time. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is the voice of a mentally challenged person getting overly happy. Much like I think that Donald Trump probably views himself like overly happy about the dumbest things that he can possibly imagine. That for everyday Americans it's probably no big deal. But because he's the president and because he's the dimwit, he likes to do all these things, like the best that we've ever seen before, the greatest that will be ever known. Like, he's supposed to be like this whole legacy person that no one else will ever top. The only thing that no one will ever top is his corruption, his open stupidity, and his the fact that you can bribe him and make him very susceptible to whatever you say by just saying flattering things about him, like, "Oh, Mr. President, you're wonderful, you're smart, you're brilliant, you look very trim, you look very healthy, and I buy all your crap. I think you're the most excellent president in the whole world." So anyway, I'm going to try to do this thing. Now, if anyone wants to leave this video, go right ahead. I don't blame you. Okay. I just wish I had a fully green flag for this, but this is the best I got so far, so I gotta make do with what I got. Yay! I got a flag, yeah! I'm president, yeah! Do whatever you want, you like it. Yeah, alright. I'm with my trophy wife, Melania. I'll do whatever I want, yeah! I put myself. Yeah, I get a medal, yeah. I'm surrounded by lovely, beautiful women and pretty girls. Many of them are teenagers. Because I'm rich and powerful, I can do whatever you want. I'm above the law. Yay! I'm the birthday boy. Yay! Yay! By the way, I think that dance is so stupid and so retarded. The man looks like a geriatrical fool whenever he does that. But I guess he thinks that people like it and they're laughing with him. So anyway, I'm gonna put my socials in the description below. And peace out, my brothers and sisters. And remember, fuck Donald Trump and his never-ending circus of stupidity. We all know that after all this is over with, after we're done, after all this little circus crap is over with, it's always gotta pay the piper for the Epstein files. The old gonna be there, and it's always gonna have that on this filthy content. So, I'll see all you girls and guys in Instantland in the next video. Ta-ta, sayonara, and Venus.